blocking the line of sight. Even you can see through that. For example, the medic shield is a good thing because sometimes the medic tries to guard your stuff, but somehow the wrong way. You try to rescue range it away from a sentry buster, but you can't right click on it over distance because the medic shield is in the way. That is one thing to watch out for. Second thing, for the weapon, for your range, I always use the jack because you don't deal melee damage, and the jack has a reduced melee damage, but it builds stuff faster. So if you don't want to waste a upgrade canteen, you can always build stuff like manually, which I very often do. So your jack helps you out with that. Now off to something completely different. When there is a sentry buster incoming, medics, if they are skilled and very good players, and I'm sorry, but I am one of these guys, and I ran into that quite often lately. The medic tended to run to the sentry buster and try to hit it with the Uber sword to get the free Uber for his medic gun or crit streak, which is completely fine and is a very good tactic. If it is slowed with the milk of the scout, it is perfect. But when a sentry gun is there, a sentry buster is there, and you pick up your sentry gun, run to it, and let it explode immediately, the medic has no chance of filling up his Uber. Please keep that in mind. Look if there is a medic and if he's running towards it. Maybe you even run away from the sentry buster so the medic can't even get the free Uber completely. Don't be a jerk. Now I want to cover the canteens. As engineer, you just need really one canteen, which is the upgrade canteen. If you buy it, remember there's a bug in this game. When you buy it and you have it, and inspect a teammate with F, with the button F as you look at them, there is a chance of the canteens to disappear, only for the engineer and only for the building upgrade canteen. It is very weird, but it is there, so keep that in mind if you have these canteens. Also, just use these canteens. I have 1 or 2 maximum in my in stock. Maybe 3 if there's really enough money there. But I tend to have 1 or 2 and use them only at very rare cases when everything goes wrong. You can basically build a sentry level 1 and a dispenser level 1, and as they are basically building, you can press the canteen button and they will be instantly upgraded to level 3. So that is a very important thing to do sometimes when it comes down to just this one thing. You can also body block giant scouts, which is a topic for itself, basically body blocking and knowing the pathing of the robots. But when you body block scouts, for example, they tend to shoot the sentry a lot and you cannot repair it because they maybe shoot you back and you are having a knockback and flying away, you cannot repair, and then the sentry gun dies. What you can't do then is building a new sentry, hit the upgrade button, and it's there immediately. So that is a very important thing to notice. Now that we are there at body blocking, you basically don't body block, but your sentry gun does. Your dispenser cannot body block, it will be run over, but your sentry gun, it can. If you are on Rottenborg and there is this tunnel and there are giant scouts incoming, when they seem to push through, you can pick up the sentry gun and place it to the rather right side of the tunnel. Try to place it a little bit left of the right side because you don't need the sentry to have contact with a wall. Just let enough space so no one can walk through, and you block the buster, block the giants basically. You can also stand left to your sentry, so you have a longer wall built out of you and your sentry gun. So you have a huge field of body blocking range, basically. Weird thing to say, but it is basically just like that. Something now to the advanced upgrading. When you don't really know what to upgrade next and there's enough money, and there will be enough money, that is my assumption now, because it's always there, you basically should upgrade your crit resistance, of course, so you don't get one-shotted, which is very stupid sometimes if there's just one crit rocket and you could have survived it, but no, you don't. Also, when you are done with that, you can possibly go for other resistances such as normal crit or bullet resistance, which is okay. But now here comes a pro tip. I won't go for the movement speed essentially, but for the jump height. It sounds weird, but it is very important actually. There are a lot of situations where you try to jump over certain things. for Manhattan, it is this truck that is at the first base, at the first point basically, and you try to get up the truck and down to the container where you place your dispenser basically, and you have to jump like 3 times perfectly to get up, but with a jump height you have just to jump 1 or 2 times if you're good enough, and that is really important because it makes you being at a faster pace. It speeds up a lot of the gameplay and makes you more viable. You are quicker in the action and you can allow more things to happen, or you can make more things happen, which is important. So jump height is actually quite awesome if you use it correctly. Movement speed is awesome too, because you can run faster away from sentry busters and be more agile, but it's not that essential, to be honest. If you really want to, you can also upgrade the metal per second regeneration, but it is very useless, to be honest. It doesn't do anything great. You can always pick up ammo kits, so you get your metal back, and that is why you at least, or you should upgrade 2 times the metal capacity, because if you do that, you get more of the ammo kits. You get more metal for ammo kits. That is just fact. Something different, if something of your buildings get destroyed, for example the dispenser, or both the dispenser and your sentry gun, the first thing that you have to build again is actually the dispenser, because there are more people profiting from your dispenser than actually from the sentry gun, because people can not run out of ammo if you have the dispenser back in place. I have a lot of times where someone builds a sentry gun, it gets immediately destroyed, but everyone runs out of ammo, and this cannot be happening. You have to place your dispenser at points where it cannot be run over by incoming sentry busters, where it cannot be easily shot, and where everyone has easy access to it. It might sound difficult, but it is actually quite easy if you know a little bit of the spots. And I cannot show all the spots because when you are playing, it really highly depends on how you adjust to the game and how the game flows. And when something bad happens, you have to fall back and then try to rethink and re-strategize. I mean, there are some set points that are actually quite good, but you don't really need to rely just on them. If something goes wrong, you really have to think where to build next. You can even ask some people where other places would be great, but try to figure out that for yourself. For example, I'm on Rottenburg now, and you can see me quite a lot, in the beginning at least, setting up at this little left point. When you come out of the upgrade bar, that I set the dispenser to the right of the rock, so everyone, for example the heavy, can stand on the rock and shoot while getting ammo back. The sentry gun is like in the little gap where the medic can easily stand behind and use the shield, for example, but you always can like replace it like back or to complete right when the bot's pushing through on the right side, and always try to reset or relocate your stuff to where the people are. Especially when the scout cannot reach stuff and your sentry gun is just like on its own. You can even consider destroying your sentry gun if it's down like an alleyway and people cannot reach it, or the scout can't reach it. Just destroy it and then relocate it basically, or replace it. And always try to move up your dispenser to where your people are basically, so they always have the advantage and don't really have to run around and look for your dispenser because you're already there. That is really an important thing to notice. When you have really enough money, and I say that a lot because you just have to get your basic upgrade and then you can do whatever. But what I do when I have my jump height and my crit resistance and my basic upgrades, I sometimes tend to upgrade my rescue ranger to clip size and reload speed and firing speed. Because then I can be a little bit more ranged and just shoot my sentry gun instead of just staying there and being shot at. And I can have a greater look at everything. I can see more, because if I am at my sentry gun, I tend to just see like in a tunnel vision everything, because I just see my sentry gun and what's in front of it, but not what is to the side and what happens, because when you sit back, you see the whole field, and that is what comes in handy sometimes. Also, it is awesome, because you are ranged and you help your team a lot more, because you don't stand there, you don't have to be healed constantly or revived, and medic doesn't really have to guard your stuff the whole time, and you won't be backstabbed by spies when you are repairing. It has a lot of benefits. Rescue Ranger or Frontier Justice, it's a matter of choice basically, but do whatever you like. Alright, this should cover the basics for the engineer. There are a lot of more things that can be explained, and when the gameplay is there and the proper situations like come into play, then there are maybe tiny things that you can explain, but that is not my task here. I just want to give rather new players or people who play often and deeper insight of what to do and how to do it properly. Just having a good foundation on which to play on, which is very important for team play. So I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this gameplay and I hope I could help you. We see you next time in the next gameplay. And until then, keep it up, as always.